He's going to be there for them, and I don't see, why all the debate. There's simple issues out there that can be resolved rather easily if we work together and not looking at this as if someone's wrong, someone's right.
Thank you very much. We're going to let it go there. Hugh Hewitt.
Well, the minimum wage is not what this election was about. I know Democrats ran on that at the time. This election was about Iraq. It was about a do-nothing Congress. I saw Norman Ornstein on C-SPAN a couple nights ago, and the stunning fact that the House of Representatives was in session only 90 days in 2006. And, that's just hammerhead leadership. That was dumb. We were wrong there. I mean, that was not right. You come here and you work in a time of war. You should be here and get the job done. But that's what the election was about. It wasn't about the minimum wage. It's not going to persuade me or any economist that it's a good idea. It's going to pass, probably, because of the politics of it. But that's not what the election was about. The election was about a do-nothing Congress, and the Republicans lost their way. They got to get back on the path.
Christy Harvey.
I think the minimum wage was part of that do-nothing Congress, though, and I think people really sort of got that this time. I mean, the minimum wage hasn't been raised in almost a decade, 9 years now. And if you make the minimum wage right now, you make less than you would have made back in 1968. And you can't live on the minimum wage. If you work a 40-hour week, you are below poverty. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who are trying to get by. And, everybody's a little bit broke right now. And I think that they saw Congress giving themselves raises year after year after year, yet refusing to even give a cost of living inflation raise to people who make minimum wage. And I think people got kind of mad about it.
Our next call comes from Miami, Florida, on our line for Independence. Good morning.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Hey, Miami.
I have a couple of quick yes/no questions for Hugh.
Yep.
Okay, Hugh. You said that this election was about basically the war, and what was the other part?
I don't know. You tell me. What was the election about, in your opinion?
You said that.
Oh, the do-nothing Congress.
Do-nothing.
Okay, I was not listening. Do-nothing Congress in the war primarily.
Okay, Congress in the war. Okay, the Congress did do something, but they did everything that George Bush wanted. And the war was wrong from the beginning. We went into Iraq under false pretenses. The American country, not George Bush, but the American country, went into Iraq under false pretenses. This election was about rewriting a wrong.
Sir?
Well, I hope the Democrats say that every day until 2008. Presidential campaign is 14 months away from Iowa. We're going to fight the war for the next 14 months, politically. And I think you'll see on the Republican side, Giuliani, McCain, and Romney, the top-tier candidates, a commitment to victory. And I think you will see on the Democratic side a great deal of confusion about how to play to their left wing, to your caller. And the Michael Moore Democrats are still out there. The Daily Kos Democrats are still out there. They want out of Iraq. But the American people, that's not what they said. They want the war won. They want a better strategy. They want more effective communication about what it is. And if Democrats go out there and take that caller's line, they'll win primaries and they'll lose the general. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Hartford, Tennessee, on our line for Republicans. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. Is it strange that when Republicans get in trouble, they lose their job or go to jail, but then we've got all these Democrats that's in there like Murtha and the two in Massachusetts now, but they always get reelected? Is that because of the part of the country don't care about ethics, but the other part does? And this war, if we don't win this war, it'll be all right because it ain't gonna go away. It's gonna come over here, and it might just go to San Francisco, And Air America, I wonder if that young lady's got paid yet.
Christy Harvey.
Well, my actual job is with the Center for American Progress, and so, yes, I did get paid. Thank you.
And our next call comes from Newark, New Jersey. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hewitt and Miss Harvey. I'm originally from Nigeria, West Africa, and I just want to talk on the war. Now, it's ironic, and I'm telling you, I don't know why the United States government is not staying on this. These people are not. They are not going to go democratic. They will only respect their traditional rulers. the imams and things like that. If we try to work with the local and traditional rulers, the war will be won within a short period of time. Let us not try to invoke our own system on them, because it's not going to work. That's why people vote against Republicans right now. And Mr. Hewitt, if you keep saying these things that you're saying, you're gonna keep losing. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, for real, you're gonna keep losing, because why did we go to war in the first instance? You got to own up that you're wrong, and let's move forward. But you keep hammering on this thing, you're gonna keep losing.
Again, caller, I know you're sincere, but we won in 2000, we won in 2002, we won in 2004. We didn't get beat that badly in 2006, and in the 6th year of an 8-year cycle. I hope you believe that. I hope Democrats believe that. I reject absolutely your idea that the Middle Eastern cultures are unfit for democracy. I watched the Iraqis vote. People like you said the same thing about Imperial Japan in 1945, and Japan is a liberal democracy today of the most healthy sort. It can and will happen because it is a universal aspiration that people want to be free, and they'd rather do politics than blow up cars. It's tough, as General Abizaid said yesterday. Hard lessons have been learned, but I absolutely reject your diminishment of the human spirit in the Middle East.
You make the comparison between Iraq and post-war Japan. Japan is that experiment in democracy in Japan has been going on for more than 50 years now. Should we be committed to a 50-year experiment in Iraq?
I think we're committed to making sure that we're not attacked again, and that means a stable Iraq. It might not look like the parliamentary democracy in Japan, although they're off on that path. I think that after 1945, people had very serious doubts whether or not Japan would ever evolve the way that it did, and it took MacArthur and it took a serious commitment. Same thing in Germany. Germany had gone bad twice in this century, and so it is difficult and it's hard work, and it's enormous cost. I keep on my radio desk a patch that honors J.P. Blecksmith, who's a Marine who was killed in Fallujah on 11/11/4. I know his dad. I taught his sister at law school. And it's a very difficult thing to look at that every day. But he made a sacrifice, as did almost 3,000 other Americans, to provide the Iraqi people, the Afghani people, and eventually the entire Middle East, that which we got to the Japanese and the Germans, which is human freedom. And it is worth the cost.
Davenport, Illinois, on our line for Republicans. Good morning.
I'm sorry, I did say Illinois, but I'm in Iowa.
Okay.
I believe that the Republicans lost because they didn't keep their contract with America, and it was the Republicans' way of telling them, come on, let's get back on track. And one thing I'm really tired of hearing about is how Bush lied to get us into Iraq. It just goes on and on about how he lied, the papers, and I was wondering if it's possible that those weapons of mass destruction, namely the nuclear components, might have gone to Iran. Maybe that's where they got their the stuff to start their nuclear program.
Christy,
that's all I have to say.
Thanks, ma'am. Christy Harvey, go ahead.
Well, I think that there were so many reasons given as the war progressed for going into Iraq. Before the war, it was, we've got to get the weapons of mass destruction. There were all of the images of the mushroom cloud. Once we did not find them, and, did they go to Iran? Did they go to Syria? Did they poof, just disappear in a puff of smoke? Nobody knows, But we do know that the IAEA and all of the weapons inspector are pretty sure that most of the weapons of mass destruction, if Saddam did have them, were destroyed in the first Gulf War. But I think what people are really frustrated about is while we may have had a strategy for the war, there really wasn't a strategy for the peace. And we sent people over who had very little experience and said, here, build a country. And we sent contractors over with pockets full of money and said, take as much as you want and we'll check in on you a little later. And I think that that's where things started to go so wrong. And, we can look back at what's gone on with the war over the past 3 years as much as we want. But I think it's really important now to look forward, to come up with a strategy, and to figure out how to keep the country safe.
Do the Democrats, is there a parallel to 1994? Do the Democrats have a, quote, contract with America?